Paris Jackson's legal win reopened a bigger question: who controls Michael Jackson's legacy? A judge ordered $625,000 returned to the estate. That money had been paid out to outside law firms. It was not just about the money. Michael Jackson fought for control his entire life, but after his death, who took control of his name, music, and story? A single court order can pull back the curtain on years of closed-door decisions. In March 2024, a Los Angeles judge ordered $625,000 returned to the Michael Jackson estate, money that had been paid out as bonuses to outside law firms. The ruling came after Paris Jackson, Michael's daughter, challenged the payment, arguing that beneficiaries had not been told about the deal. For supporters of the estate, this was simply a technical correction. For critics and many fans, it was a sign that the people entrusted with Michael's legacy could be forced to answer for their choices, at least when someone inside the family demanded it. Paris's win didn't just claw back a six-figure sum. It forced the executors, Johnbranca and McClain, to provide a detailed accounting of how the money moved. The court's decision made clear that even at the highest levels, transparency is not optional. Public filing showed the bonus had been labeled a settlement incentive, but the lack of prior notice was enough for the judge to order repayment. The estate, for its part, denied any wrongdoing and insisted the payment was standard practice. Still, the episode left a mark. For the first time in years, a Jackson heir had forced the estate to change course. Fans reacted with a mix of relief and renewed suspicion. Some praised Paris for standing up for her father's wishes. Others wondered how many other decisions had been made without family input. The case raised a deeper question. If Michael spent his life fighting for control, how much power do his children have now? Paris's legal spark reignited a debate that goes far beyond a single court order. It is a question of who truly holds the keys to Michael Jackson's legacy and whether business decisions match the values he fought for. Michael Jackson's fight for ownership was never just about money. In 2002, in an interview, he spoke with conviction about the rights of artists, declaring, "If you don't own your songs, you're just a rented actor on somebody else's stage." For Michael, control meant dignity, independence, and the power to define his own legacy. This belief shaped every major decision he made around his music and his name. When he died in June 2009, those ideals were put to the test. Michael's will, last amended in March 2002, laid out a legal framework designed to protect what he built. It named two men as co-executors: Johnbranca, his longtime entertainment attorney, and McClain, a trusted music executive. On July 6, 2009, a Los Angeles judge formally confirmed their authority, granting them the power to marshal assets, settle debts, and steer the estate through probate. Their fiduciary duty was clear: preserve and grow the estate for the benefit of Michael's three children, Prince, Paris, and Bigi, and his mother, Katherine Jackson. The Michael Jackson Family Trust became the ultimate beneficiary, holding the keys to his catalog, image rights, and future earnings. Under California law, Branca and McClain were required to act in the best interests of the beneficiaries. Their responsibilities included cataloging every asset, negotiating new deals, and filing detailed annual accountings with the court. Major transactions, anything that could reshape the estate's value, had to be submitted for judicial review. Day to day, they wielded broad discretion, but the court retained the final word on deals that could alter the course of Michael's legacy. This structure set the stage for everything that followed: high-stakes catalog sales, licensing agreements, and public disputes over transparency. At its heart, the estate's legal machinery was meant to honor a simple promise: protect what Michael fought for and ensure those closest to him would benefit. Yet the question lingered: could any legal arrangement truly capture the spirit of an artist who spent his life battling for control? Within months of Michael Jackson's passing, the estate faced a mountain of debt and a world uncertain about how his legacy would be managed. Behind the scenes, Johnbranca and McClain set out to transform a financial crisis into an engine of revenue that few could have predicted. Their approach was broad and relentless. They did not just rely on album sales or royalties. They opened new channels, streaming platforms, global licensing, Broadway productions, and a surge of official merchandise. The estate partnered with Cirque du Soleil for Michael Jackson, won and later launched MJ the Musical on Broadway, each generating tens of millions in ticket and licensing revenue. Streaming became a goldmine. Jackson's catalog drew in massive royalties from Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube, keeping his music at the top of global charts year after year. Merchandise deals with brands like H&M and Fendi brought his image into new markets, while licensing agreements covered everything from apparel to electronics. Even film and documentary projects, including the upcoming biopic, brought in significant advances in fees for the use of his songs and likeness. By 2023, Forbes ranked the Michael Jackson estate among the highest-earning celebrity estates, with post-tax earnings topping $1 billion. Supporters pointed to this turnaround as proof of the executor's skill, turning what was once a debt-ridden estate into a powerhouse that not only paid off its obligations but also secured the financial future of Michael's children. For the first time since his passing, the estate was not just surviving but thriving, setting the stage for even larger deals on the horizon. Sony entered the center of Michael Jackson's legacy in early 2024 when reports confirmed the company had acquired a 50% stake in the MJlegacy catalog, Michael's prized collection of master recordings and publishing rights. The deal, valued at more than $1.2 billion, brought at least $600 million in cash to the estate. For supporters of the executors, this was a landmark achievement, proof that Michael's music remained among the most valuable in the world and that the estate's financial management could secure generational wealth for his heirs. But the sale also triggered immediate protest from inside the family. Katherine Jackson, Michael's mother, filed a formal objection in probate court. She argued the transaction conflicted with her son's lifelong fight for ownership and questioned whether the executors had truly honored his wishes. Court filings revealed that Katherine believed the deal undervalued the catalog and shifted too much control to a corporation Michael had once publicly criticized. The court reviewed the objection and, after weighing the evidence, denied her request to block the sale. The judge ruled that the executors had acted within their legal authority and that the transaction benefited the trust's beneficiaries. Sony's new role as co-owner of Michael's catalog marked a turning point. Family advocates worried that commercial interests might now outweigh personal legacy. The estate maintained that the structure of the deal preserved a 50% profit share for the heirs and excluded key revenue streams like theatrical royalties from Sony's control. Still, the outcome left a lingering question. In the pursuit of financial security, how much of Michael's original vision remains in the hands of those closest to him? Bigi Jackson challenged the estate's boundaries by petitioning for more than $100,000 in legal fees after Katherine Jackson's failed objection to the Sony catalog deal. He argued that defending Michael's wishes was the estate's duty, not just a family concern. The court disagreed, allowing reimbursement only for fees tied directly to estate administration. The remaining costs, including those from Katherine's ongoing appeal, were denied. The judge's ruling drew a clear line. Estate funds are not for personal or speculative legal battles, especially when the likelihood of success is low. At the same time, Paris Jackson's demand for transparency led to a court-ordered return of $625,000 in bonuses paid to outside law firms. These payments, labeled as settlement incentives, had not been properly disclosed to the heirs. The court required the funds be repaid and a full accounting provided, reinforcing that executors remain accountable to both beneficiaries and the court. These rulings did not allege misconduct, but they set boundaries. The judiciary signaled that oversight is real, and even family-driven disputes must meet standards of transparency and prudent spending. The upcoming Michael Jackson biopic is more than a film. It is a battleground for control over his story. Every frame, every song, every image is locked behind legal gates. The studio cannot move forward without two signatures: the Michael Jackson estate and Sony. Both must approve the use of his name, likeness, and the music that made him a legend. Without these clearances, there is no movie. Inside the deal, the estate holds exclusive rights to Michael's image and choreography. Sony controls half the master recordings and the publishing rights for many of his most famous songs. To use Billie Jean or Thriller in the film, the studio must secure a master license from Sony and a publishing license from Sony Music Publishing. Both companies can veto any use that does not meet their standards. The estate, led by Johnbranca and McClain, also has final say over any depiction of Michael's likeness. If the portrayal crosses a line, the estate can simply say no. Filmmakers find themselves negotiating not just creative choices choices but legal boundaries. Reports show that script drafts, casting decisions, and even the soundtrack must pass through rounds of review. Critics argue this level of control can sanitize or reshape the story, turning a personal legacy into a corporate product. Supporters counter that this is the only way to protect Michael's dignity and prevent exploitation. The result is a narrative built by committee, one where the final word belongs to those who hold the rights, not necessarily those who knew Michael best. The power to define his legacy on screen rests with the gatekeepers. Today, Michael Jackson's legacy generates over $75 million a year, but the debate over who truly honors his wishes remains unsettled. As courts decide assets and as new projects shape his image, one truth endures: ownership and connection aren't always the same. The meaning of his legacy is still contested.